Today we are going to be jumping into a very long overdue video. Is Jubilee underrated? Alright, what is going on, my dude? So Jubilee, the first champion of 2021. Is she underrated? We're going to be jumping into her today to look at her damage and her utility because there is quite a bit of it. Many people have described Jubilee as the jack of all trades, master of none. Now, in a way, I kind of do agree with this. Now, there are a lot of things that Jubilee can do, and there's a lot of things she can do very effectively. As well as if you're going just for damage, she can also do that quite effectively as well. Now, Jubilee has these 3 firework modes, and these firework modes do many different things for her. There's a firework surge in general that activates either at the start of the fight or after special attacks, alright? And then there's special effects on the special 1 and the special 2, all doing different things, but essentially they kind of branch off into 3 different things depending on what you need for the fight. And you guys know already, we're going to be exploring all of it in this video here today, starting with what you probably care the most about, the damage. All right, so we have a rank 3 Sig 20 Jubilee here today. I'm going to be showing you 2 different rotations if you're going for just damage. The first one is a special 3 special 2 rotation. All right, so the way she works is that her mediums and her lights, well, they go back and forth, right? Every one that you do, it's going to give you a prowess. I think a 50% chance to give you a prowess or something like that, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm going to build up to a special 3. Why is that? Because that's going to convert those 12 prowess effects into 12 passive prowess effects. Now, after that, I'm going to go for another special 2, okay? Now, one thing about Jubilee, whether you like her or not, her animations are absolutely beautiful. There's fireworks on every single hit. When she's in firework surge, she puts her glasses down. It is a very, very, very cool thing, and she has a very nice special 3 as well. So let's watch it. Nice. Do a little backflip. Got some sparkles going on. Some glitter. Some firework fingers. All right. Now you're going to see we have 12 of those things. And now the orange firework surge, we're going to be doing extra damage on every hit. But I'm going to heavy attack and get rid of that. Why? Because I want to build up 12 more prowess. Okay? I want a big special 2. I want a big, beefy special 2 here. Okay? Let's see if we can get it. Keep in mind, I only did 1 attempt here. I'm only doing 1 attempt for each rotation. Just 1, because I think that's very fair. You go in, this is what you're getting. 1 time through, right? I'm not going to try and go until every hit crits. Nope, we're just going to see what happens. So, I'm going to bait out the special 1 here, or just go for it. Not too bad. Now, if that last bit crit, it would hit pretty hard, man. But the little incinerate ticking, and with the orange firework surge, right, getting the extra energy damage on every single hit that we do, he's pretty much flushed down the toilet right there in just 1 special 3 and 1 special 2. So when it comes to damage, I think she absolutely has it, right? Why don't we watch that special 2? Because it's nice. It's nice. When it crits, it's nice. That's at the end of the day, right? When it crits, you're getting some nice numbers here, right? Let's check it out. So 39k, let's just call it 40k and 20k. It's actually a little bit higher than all of that. But right away, 60,000 damage on the first hit. The second hit, 80,000 and 44,000, let's just say, right? That's a little bit more that time, but it's going to balance out. So, 120k on the second hit, 60k on the first hit, about 200,000 damage, and we still got 1 hit left, which would have been the biggest one, but we got about another 40k. So that's pretty much around 240,000 health taken off the opponent on 1 special 2 there, which is not bad. Now, let's just say we were using like a 200%, 150% mutant power boost, let's say in war. That would be pretty freaking OP, man. So you go special 2, right? Let's say you don't even go for the special 3, right? The special 2, if it's not enough to kill the opponent, you're pretty much back up to another special 2. You can go for it again. Now, people do this with Cosmic Ghost Rider, they do this with Corvus. Now, one benefit to those champions is they have guaranteed crits. So that's a big benefit for them in like war when you're like, depending on the matchup, right? But there's the current attack tactic, right? That essentially gives you a wither debuff every time you finish your combo with a different ending, medium attack or light attack, right? And you get more depending on how many prowess effects you have. So Jubilee starts really locking down some power control fights. Now, I wish I could show you some Alliance War videos here, but unfortunately I can't, right? I could have, man. War is on. I already entered off-season war with different champions. I could have brought in rank 1 Jubilee to show you. It would have been really cool. I started recording this after I already entered. Oh well. But essentially, she becomes an option for like champions like Hyperion, for example, right? And other champions who, have that power gain. Even stuff like Power Snack and nodes like that, kinetic transference, right? She becomes very powerful. Now, unfortunately, there's only one more season left of this, so after that, that's going to go away. But just in general, her damage is pretty decent, right? Now, let's say you don't want to go for this special 3. That's totally valid. Let's start looking at her modes. Orange Firework Surge. At the start of all preceding fights, Jubilee gains an orange firework surge for 16 seconds. While active, landing the hits and striking into the block will deal 55% of hit damage as a burst of energy damage. She also has pink and blue, but we're going to go over those in a little bit, okay? We're going to go over everything today. We're going to activate orange, see what that's like. This is going to be a bit of a different rotation here, okay? In the first one, we did Special 3, Special 2, and it pretty much killed him, right? So, Jubilee has a pretty cool thing here with the orange on her Special 1, okay? Now, keep in mind, you don't have to be in Firework Surge to do this, but this essentially locks it in, right? So, we're going to go for a Special 1 here, and keep in mind, we have 2 debuffs on from the Suicide Masteries. Watch this. 2 shock debuffs, right? I think that would be 3 if I threw it a little bit sooner, but that's definitely pretty cool. It makes her pretty suicide friendly at the end of the day, right? All debuffs are just gone right from the start of the fight. Now you can use this with a lot of debuffs, right? A lot of different debuffs. Doesn't have to be the Suicide Masteries. It could be, I believe, non-damaging debuffs as well, right? So yeah, definitely not too bad. Very easy to build up 12 of those prowess effects, right? And now Special 2. Not as big as the first one, right? But look at that. Winter Soldier is now at 40% health after a Special 1 and a Special 2. Not too bad, man. Again, right? We're going to get rid of the heavy attack and build up some more prowess and go for another Special 2. Of course, if this is a real fight, bait out the special attacks, but I'm not in the mood to deal with Winter Soldier being stingy and holding his specials. It makes the fight way too long, right? So yeah, here we go again. We're going to go for one more Special 2. And let's see what happens. Not too bad. Now, you can skip the Special 1 if you want, right? Just go Special 2, and he would have been dead as well. So, yeah, not too bad, man. In the first one, we built up 5 bars of power. In this one, we built up 5 bars of power, right? So, depending on if you want to go for 1 Special 3 and 1 Special 2, or if you want to go for 2 Special 2s and the Special 1 to get rid of the debuffs, you can do that. Doesn't really matter. There's a lot of different ways you can go. But at the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear. If you're looking just for damage, Jubilee kind of has it. It's not too bad, right? And you want to do that with the orange fireworks, okay? Now, if she had a synergy, by the way, that allowed you to build prowess during a mode, right? A firework surge, and also made it so she was always in that one mode for the entire fight. Kind of like how Mangog and Psycho Man work with that synergy, right? Always keeps him in the fear mode, right? And it also makes him a little bit stronger that way, right? It'd be cool if she had a synergy that always kept you in the mode that you choose at the start of the fight, and you could build prowess during it. I think that'd be a big improvement to Jubilee. It would make her a general attacker, right, with the orange at least. Also make her better when it comes to utility, because she really loses a lot of damage when she uses her utility, so we're going to see that today, right? But we're going to look at one more thing with the orange here, because like I said, you transfer the debuffs, right? So we're here on Caltrops. There's also Plagued Mind and Static Blast and Coolant Link, right? We're gonna make her a Horseman. Now, I made a video of Jubilee as a Horseman back in the day versus the Colossus and Variant 3, where you had 99 bleeds on you, right? Because of Keatonus Thorns. So it's essentially the same thing here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be just building up a lot of bleeds on me, where we made her a Horseman, because that way we're going to go ahead and just not take any bleed damage, right? And what we're going to do is try our best to transfer all these bleeds onto Black Panther here. So let's see what we do. We got 5 shocks, right? And that's taking for about 3k per second, right? Not too bad. So this can be done very easily on Biohazard or Caltrops. Here it's a little bit harder, because when he uses special attacks, right, it's going to essentially drain our power. Also, every 20 seconds, our power is just going to be naturally drained from the node itself, right? But as you can see, Jubilee is doing a pretty good job here. Her basic attacks are like decent, right? They're not amazing. For me, like her damage is amazing on the special 2, in the orange mode on the special 2 with 12 or 24 prowess. That's where her damage like shines for me, right? But here it's just kind of fun, you know? I think this is a fun way to go about this, right? Of course, many horsemen, right, are going to be really good for this. I wouldn't say rank up your Jubilee to be a horseman on Biohazard and Caltrops, because that's very silly. Because you probably have 4 options or more who could do this better as a horseman, right? But it's still something cool that she can do, and there's a decent crit on the special 1 when she's a horseman and she has the prowess, right? So that's some damage. Up next, we're going to be looking at probably my favorite part of her kit. All right, so up first is Sig 20. All right, and we're going to take her up after, and we're going to see the difference. But I'm going to show it to you here, and this is 6.1. All right, keep in mind, Sig 20, that's it. All right, fresh out of the box. You see that? When he shrugged it off, 5k damage. 5k damage. Why is that? Because when skill champs, or any champs really, shrug off her debuffs, and this could be any debuff, right? Her personal debuffs, they're going to be taking damage. Now, also, when they shrug off any debuff, they're going to be taking additional damage, right? So what does that mean? What do I mean by additional debuffs, right? For example, this Kingpin here has 300,000 health about. Also, Plagued Mind, Energize, Power Reversal, and Power Shield. So we're not going to be doing any damage at all outside of her Sig. No damage at all, aside from the Sig. Now, Kingpin's got a lot of debuffs. And what does he do with those debuffs? Well, he shrugs them off. All right? So here, the health pool is a little bit larger, right? But watch this. Sig 20 did about 43k. Not too bad. So we're getting like 2 different areas of burst here. He's shrugging off our personal stuns, right? And also he's shrugging off his rage debuffs. So it's doing a decent bit of damage to Kingpin, and so far we haven't hit him at all, right? He's down to 60% health, and keep in mind, this is only Sig 20 Jubilee, okay? So this is like, 1 dupe, and then she can do this. Now, is this the most effective way to fight Kingpin? Maybe not. Maybe attack him as well. But when you're fighting Kingpin, right, and you parry him or you put debuffs on him with your special attacks, like with Jubilee, naturally he's going to be shrugging those things off. So this is a lot of extra damage, and as you can see, it's a decent amount of extra damage, right, as we're going along. That's not too bad to have. That is definitely kind of nice to have, right? Especially when you're a mutant champion and you go up against skill champions who you have class advantage on, right? And a lot of them are going to be shrugging stuff off. Let's go for one more. Not too bad. Now, like I said, that was Sig 20. But now, we're going to take her up to Sig 200, and we're going to take a look at the Sigable, and now it's Sig 200. Each time one of Jubilee's personal debuffs expires on the opponent, deal a burst of 2628 energy damage. Each time the opponent purifies any debuff, deal a burst of 4270 energy damage. Okay, let's go back to that same exact fight after having 180 signature stones put into Jubilee. Okay, let's take a look, and keep in mind, Power Shield. Absolutely no damage can be done unless we use special attacks or passive damage like this. But also, I hit him 1 time in the previous fight. This time, I will be hitting him 0 times, and we're going to see if we can kill him. 0 hits on the block, down to 69%. Nice. So far, we parried like 3 or 4 times, and we've taken off over 30% health. Now, when he gets out of his overpower buff there, he gains about, 2 to 4 of his rage buffs. So here we're effectively killing Kingpin by doing absolutely nothing. We're not touching him. We're just letting him fall. That's gonna be it. When he shrugs them all off, look at how much damage it does. 73,000. 73,000 additional damage every single time. Every time he enters overpower. Now, let's say there was a Kingpin and Alliance war, right? that would be about 70%, give or take, maybe less, maybe 60%, depending on the node. Could be 40% depending on the node of his health pool. And all you did was block. And in Alliance where they're going to have less, health than here. In Battlegrounds, for example, if you were watching any of the Battleground streams, right? Kingpin was a bit of a annoying defender. Jubilee could be a very decent option against Kingpin, because you're going to punish him for doing the things that he does while you're actually fighting him, right? This fight right here took about 40 seconds. And this Kingpin had 288,000 health. This is easily my favorite thing about Jubilee. I think it's really darn cool. It's not useful in every matchup, but useful against skill champions who struggle a lot, man. I think it's cool. So, that was her orange mode. That was her signature ability. She's got 2 more modes we're going to look at. All right? You can look at the pink mode now. On this node right here, Energize 1. It's essentially all or nothing. It's essentially they're going to use the special 3 and they're going to kill you. That is what this node is, right? That's special bias. Sorry, special bias. The defender is more likely to activate special 3 first and then 2 and then 1. But cool, you eat a special 3, you're dead. That's kind of how it works, right? Unless you have a way to avoid the death. Also, Energize 1 increases the defender's combat power rate by 100%. Combat power is the power gained by landing hits or being attacked by the opponent. Pretty darn cool. Right? So the pink abilities. Let's see what the pink abilities do to combat this type of node combination. The pink right here at the start of all this fight and all preceding fights. So by the way, if you activate a firework and you keep going on in the path, it's always going to start like this. So the pink one does, while active, landing hits and striking into the block lowers defensive combat power rate by 30%. That's pretty decent. Now, every time you use a special attack, you're going to activate a surge. So that's going to be active every single time you use a special attack. Now, keep in mind, you could throw on like a Mr. Fantastic suppression, and you can increase that even more, 55% at space right there, right? But it can go even further than just that. Because in Jubilee's abilities here, I guess I have to show you really quick over here. In her abilities, for the pink firework mode, on the special 1, it inflicts a taunt debuff for 9 seconds, and on the special 2, you inflict a suppression debuff, reducing combat power rate by 25%. On top of the initial 30, that's 55%. Add in Mr. Fantastic, and that is what? 55 plus 5, 60, plus 20, 80%. Now if you add in the Pacify Mastery, and you're pretty much giving them no power whatsoever after the special 2. That's pretty decent. That's actually very decent. But first, let's go ahead and watch this fight. So, like I said, right? 30% reduced combat power rate right here. And as you can see, she's getting pretty high up there, but we're going for the special 1 to put a taunt. No special 3. Now, big issue here. Big issue here. We have traded in our damage for utility. That sucks. It's not good. It's not fun, right? Because there are champions who can do this kind of thing, but keep their damage. Just for example, man, She-Hulk, right? She has a taunt, a very strong taunt, if not a better taunt, on a heavy attack. It's always there. And the more powerful the taunt gets, the stronger her attack gets. So I'm personally not a fan of trading your damage for your utility type of champs, like this. Now, if you have a smaller roster and you don't have one of those taunters ranked up, and you're looking at this freaking all or nothing lane, and you're like, holy crap, how am I gonna possibly get through this? But you have a rank 2 Jubilee. Hey man, it might take you a little while, but you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna get through it very freaking easily too. Very easily. This fight was a no-brainer. Gonna go for the special 2 now. Here comes the suppression. And she went for the special 1. That was nice. That was unexpected, right? So keep in mind they have plus 100% combat power rate here, right? But she has a lot lower. A lot lower than that. Is it minus 55% in the surge with the suppression up? It's not too bad. Now there's also a taunt on. So here's the thing, man. Yeah, we're over 100 hits in. We're not running suicides right now. This is just Jubilee on her own, right? But we're getting through it. And she's getting through it very effectively. The taunt is very powerful. It's a very powerful mechanic in the game. Not too many champions have a taunt, right? There are a lot of really great champions with the taunt. There really aren't too many, like, bad champions with the taunt, now that I think about it, man, because there's, She-Hulk, who's amazing, Starkey, who's amazing, Miles, who's really good, Jubilee is pretty good. Who else has a taunt? I don't know. I'm sure I'm missing some. Psycho Man has one, right? Well, kind of. It's a different mechanic, though. But point is, pretty decent, right? Pretty decent stuff here. It's a very powerful mechanic, and that's why more champions don't have taunt, because it's very powerful. I want to test this out. I didn't record this part yet, but I'm curious. We're going to throw this on. We're going to throw on a Mr. Fantastic suppression, and we're going to stay in our pink mode and go for special 2s and see what we can do. All right, suppression is placed, and I'm actually not going to go for the pink pre-fight because I want to be using, heavy attacks to refresh, right, the suppression. I also want to build up prowess, so we're going to just make it to special 2 here and see if when we hit Winter Soldier... Uh-oh, got him. If we hit Winter Soldier while he's stunned, if we can, essentially make it so he has absolutely 0 power. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to go ahead and push him to 1 bar here. All right, and now, special 2. Hey, pretty decent damage. Watch his power. That's pretty much nothing. That's pretty much nothing. Now, of course, no damage, no prowess, right? Let's refresh that. Or is that mine? Oh, dang it. Our Mr. Fantastic one fell off. But that's alright. I think we get the point, right? That's pretty decent. You want to go for probably some, a heavy attack there, right? At the end of that first suppression falling off. The Mr. Fantastic one fell off. I thought it was our natural one falling off, but I think you get it, man. She can essentially really control the opponent's power, which is interesting. You need a specific mastery for it, which isn't a bad mastery to run in your daily setup, but you do need a suppression for it with Mr. Fantastic, which I don't think is asking a lot when you essentially make their power gain 0. It looks like it's maybe 5 or 10%, but that's not too bad. All right, man, we got one more thing to showcase here, and that's the blue firework mode. We're here on Safeguard, and also Biohazard, so we have to make her a Horseman just because of a Biohazard, right? But the blue one here, right? While active, landing hits and striking into the block lowers defensive ability accuracy by 50%. That's a decent chunk, man. That's a decent chunk, 50%. Now, here's the thing, though, because when you get to your special 2, well, not only do you have minus 50% defensive ability accuracy, you also put on a regular concussion that reduces all ability accuracy by 25% for 22 seconds, right? So, we're going to make her a Horseman, and we're going to be showing off a lot of things here, right? Now, keep in mind there's Biohazard. Yes, we are a Horseman, but I want you to see how often we get bled and poisoned here, right? Now, right out of the gate, 50% reduced defensive ability accuracy reduction. We are breaking Safeguard already. Not every time, about half the time, because we're only 50%, right? We're definitely breaking Safeguard. We've done 18 hits. She should be at 82% health. Now, Gwenpool, right? Keep in mind her SIG ability. You can't kill her with the special attack, right? Well, let's see what happens. Here comes the special 2. Got a concussion on. That did no damage, right? That did no damage at first. That's again because it's not minus 100%. Safeguard. We rolled RNG. We rolled RNG for Safeguard. But fight's not over. There's also no retreat here, by the way. We dashed back 2 times in a row. We didn't get no retreat damage, right? We're gonna go for the special 2 again. 17k. Why was that time? Why did we get to 17k that time? Because what did we do? What's that? Minus 50% because of the blue fireworks, minus an additional 50% because of 2 concussions. So we eliminated the possibility of Safeguard ever triggering. For a very small window, keep in mind. But I don't think 17,999 health fits into Safeguard. I also don't think it fits into Gwenpool's Sig ability, right? Where she should not be taking that much damage at that low health. So, completely turn the defender off for just a little bit of time there, right? But that's a pretty darn strong ability there, right? Depending on the matchup. If it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like nice to have. I feel like it's really nice to have for Safeguard, right? I feel like I wouldn't really rely on that for like Hazard Shift or Biohazard unless, you know, you're a Horseman, you don't need it then. But I feel like that concussion ability is pretty strong for certain things. Now we got one more thing to show, and that is the other part of her blue firework, and that's the slow on the special one, right? Also keep in mind, reduced ability accuracy against things is not going to trigger rock stacks half the time. Or 25% of the time he'll only trigger it after the special 2, but we're not going for the special 2, right? But yeah, basically, we're going to see how possible it is to just keep up this special 1 slow. And look at this, evade here, and another evade right there, with 50% defensive ability accuracy reduction. That's like I should have bought a lottery ticket after that, man. So, anyway, gonna go for the special 1 in just a second here. I'm gonna bait out a special 2, right? And now, got a little laggy there, but I did a light attack into that. We got a slow debuff on. And now I can chain special 1s, and I could stack the slow if I want to, right? Boom, 2 slow debuffs. Right? Go for another one. But I gotta make sure I'm in blue. That's the thing, the first step of playing Jubilee is just knowing inside and out everything her fireworks do, what order they come in. As you can see, I'm going for like full combos here because I know one more medium attack there is going to put me back into blue, right? So you gotta know. Do not play Jubilee until you know which firework comes when, what firework does what on the special 2, on the special 1, in the surge. An easy way to remember it, in my opinion, orange for damage, blue for defensive ability accuracy reduction, right? Or just ability reduction and like slow. And pink for power suppression, power control. Pink is power control, blue is ability reduction, and orange is damage in any way, right? So, Jubilee, man, what I say at the beginning of the video, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. I think I stick by that. I've said that in the past, and people have been like, nah, Jubilee's the best. Everyone always says Jack of all trades, master of none. It's not true. I don't think she's the master of anything, but I don't think she needs to be the master. You know what? You know what she might be the master of? She might be the master of this. She might be the master of punishing defenders when they shrug off her debuffs. I like it. Another thing she has, by the way, is energy damage on all her hits, so she could fight Korg without any consequences, and if he shrugs off her debuffs, he'll do some damage. So she'll be a really good Korg counter as well, right? So, Jubilee, man, she's not bad. Is she underrated? Yeah, probably a little bit, man. A lot of people think she's bad. She's definitely not bad, right? Especially if you don't want to use her for your utility, which honestly, her utility's fine. It's there. She will not be my first choice for power control or for defensive ability accuracy reduction or for slow debuff. It's not happening. I'm not using her for that. But if you're just looking for like a damage dealer and you like playing with her, dude, she's a nuts damage dealer, man. She has an amazing special too. Very, very decent damage for sure. No doubt about it. Could be good for like, for example, special connoisseur. She could be really good for that. We might see that again in the future. And there's a node like that at 6.4.2, I believe, right to the left. My right, your left. So yeah, man, I'd say she's a little underrated. I think that I got out of her what I expected to get out of her, which was really nice damage when you're not going for utility. Although you just have to know how to get there. That's the thing. You got to know what you're doing with the fireworks and what to do before throwing the special attacks. But she's definitely got some cool things going on. All right, that is going to be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big old like, comment what you think about Jubilee in the comment section below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future Jubilee videos. I shouldn't say that because there probably won't be too many of those, but so you don't miss any of the underrated videos coming to you in the future. I'll be seeing you around.